to the 6, we be in the mix. With that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane, about to visit Glen Rock. Need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix. With that rare candy paint job on the whip, who you with?
I went to a new barber today. Is a elderly Vietnamese woman.
I bet it was tight. Good job. Looks
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, she was good. I haven't had an Asian person cut my hair in many years. Pre-COVID, I had this very stoic, like samurai of a man who wouldn't say anything, but he would hit me with the Peaky Blinders so quick.
Yeah,
he knew that. He knew that's what I wanted.
Yeah,
like, and I don't even know if I told him. He just was like, "That show's killing it right now. This is what all
he's psychic
white people want."
Did he do the accent too?
Phillips
or
said,
Lily Phillips
by a order of a Peaky Blinder. He said, "Oh, Thomas Shelby," and but it was funny though because back in the day I got one a long time ago. It was a one-off. I trusted a one-off. I thought I have normal white guy straight hair. Anybody can do it. And I went to an Asian person once, and I went to a liquor store to buy Swishers with my friend. And there was this place called Lime Tree Liquors. So it was like a Vietnamese owned. They always have little like cutesy names like that for their liquor stores. And she goes, "Who cut your hair?" Like that. And I was like, "Oh, this guy over here." She goes, "Oh, they mess up." And I was like, "Damn."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
She's really a customer for life, really.
I think she partially owned like a hair place too.
Yeah.
And I think that was basically her version of "here's my card."
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it didn't work, but I was just like, "Look, I'm coming in here to buy Swishers. What you don't tell me that."
Margins are way better on haircut. Way better. Yeah.
And she's like, "Your clothes dirty. You need to wash them."
Yeah.
I have place down the street. Yeah.
Also try Peach Optimo.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
like, I didn't ask.
It's back there. I do some laundry right now. Yeah. But it's really
it's like funny. Better Call Saul office in the back of a fucking nail salon, dude. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like I mean, it's not off the table. Let me just say that much. Like they might go, yo, Nike, are they real? I have Nike.
Asian crime goes hard because it's like kind of like on the edge. It's always semi-legit, and it's always like, it's kind of.
Well, they're Italian. They do Italian style crime. They don't do like hordes of like machete in the street stuff. Theirs is like, okay, on this street, you're opening up a business. Like, dude, there was in East San Jose, there was a jewelry business, and I saw this. I forgot to mention this last time on Patrol Live. This was in San Jose. They were showing this, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And there was a guy who opened up like a jewelry store, and he was like this. First off, the footage from the camera footage from the store, the dude was shirtless in his jewelry store. I was like, "This is insane."
It's like Paul Wall about to roll up. Dude.
Yeah, or like Johnny the jeweler. Yeah,
Johnny the
jeweler. He was like Johnny the jeweler's grandpa. He was old as fuck with his shirt off, and he was like tatted up too. So they were like this innocent business. It's like, dude, the guy's mobbed up. Like, come on. But the Vietnamese dude, they showed this smash and grab of like it was like the fourth time it happened to this guy's store where they just reversed like a Toyota 4Runner like through the store, and which, to be honest, Vietnamese neighborhood, that might not be it could have been accidental. At first you're like, fuck, we got to put blocks on the parking spots. But like
did they take anything, or did they just drive?
Dude. But then you just see these like like a total like you could tell it was not this like anarchist crime. It was like this. It was just this like, you didn't pay your service, your tax to us. You want protection from us, you have to pay for this. And it was very much like Godfather stuff. Like, you know, like it's crazy. Like that's their type of crime. Whereas, you know, other kinds, it's like machetes and vans full of people. And, you know, it's like, that's a little bit scary. Like to me, I would see that it was a Vietnamese neighborhood. I'd be like, let's pick another place to open our business. Let's
you don't want
let's
to
go
pay the
somewhere
tax.
else. You do not want to pay the tax because you know there's a tax upon the tax for a white guy. Like they're like
it's the rates. Well, the spread, the arbitrage, the spread's higher for sure.
It's like, dude, I talked to my
and maybe
like,
fair, you know, maybe fair. Like they got a right to
because
you're
like I talked to my Vietnamese friend Pierre Pham, and he said that it's only this much money. They're like, yeah, for fucking Pierre, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd you get your hair? They mess up your haircut. You pay tax. It's
like, can the tax be I get my haircut from you guys? Like, I'm happy to pay that tax. Like that'll be.
Yeah, you put that upon me.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I keep my hair long. I just don't want to get it cut. And I if I find someone, I did for the wedding. I did. It kind of grew out for the wedding, but I did like a pre-wedding.
No, you had it was not wild and free. Yeah,
it was like low, and I was like, I could rock this for sure. But the problem is, you need it every fucking 3 weeks, and I'm like, God,
it's like it's like using chapstick. Once you start, you have to keep doing. No, I was the same way. I like, again, as the least autistic person of all time, this does sound bad. I don't like getting my hair cut, and so people might put that in the tally mark of going, well, that's one in the Autism column, you know, like on there. Yeah, people have to whisper cool things into my ear while I'm getting my haircut because I hate it. But it's.
What about the girls with the IPA? Like, here, drink this IPA when we're holding scissors next to your
ears. And it's like, dude, I have to piss. Now I have to piss. And and then I used to go to a barber college. I'm sure I've told this story here. I used to go to the barber college out here where it's literally $5 for your haircut because these guys were getting hours, and you would get. So the problem is like you'd have to find the guy who was already doing this for like 20 years but is now getting certified. So you're like, oh, this guy, because sometimes you would get somebody, because I think that was the guy who messed up. By the way, they mess up. I think I found the guy who was literally training to like I'm green as hell. And so I went one time and there was a guy and his name was Playboy Da Barber, Irish fella. And oh, what's up? I'm Playboy Da Barber. But would you like a high top fade?
Conor McGregor.
I specialize in 4C hair. But it's like, oh, you want an afro? But he gave me this black guy haircut. Like it was very much like Matt LaFleur. Like the like Uber fade with like the thing on top. The problem is I have head moles, so I can't expose the side. I can't do it. It's I'm not privileged like these other guys. And he was like, dude, this is so weird. Because I'm already committed to the haircut, so you don't have to sell me the haircut while you're committing it to me. Like you've already clipped you. Once you start, I'm there. So it's because I was always thinking like, what if your haircut guy dies during your haircut?
It's like who's gonna finish
the coroner's there and like taking him out, and you're like, look, guys, I know this is bottom of the totem pole right now.
No,
yeah.
I'm thinking like it's like Eyes Wide Shut. Like who's gonna finish this movie? Who's gonna be tasked with
Stanley Kubrick. You're just like, look, guys, I know this is the least of your concerns right now. But I have half a haircut right now. And I have a job interview tomorrow, and they're like, dude, put a hat on. But like so this guy Playboy was and it's BOI. And he I have a feeling
I was assuming that.
I have a feeling there is a Playboy with a Y, the barber as well. So I didn't want people to think, well, I know that guy. You're full of shit, Glenn. But the guy was cutting he was cutting it and he was like fading this. I could tell. I was like, damn, I'm getting a black guy haircut right now. Like fuck. And then and he was like, bro, your lady gonna give you some tonight, homie. Your lady gonna. I'm like, stop whispering that into my ear. Like it's like, first off, like, am I gonna make it home before that happens? Like this sounds like it sounds like man, I don't know, because he was
I don't need that.
He was cool. He was cool people. He was really funny. But then I like looked at it and I was just like, that's not what I wanted. What am I doing? Like he was just like, you don't know what you want. I know what you want. And I'm like, I almost would have got like I'm lucky this was like pre 2010s because I was like, dude, I would have got like accused of like cultural appropriation. I feel like it was such a black guy cut.
My in freshman sophomore year of college, not my roommate because we had all single dorms, but my next door neighbor Kirk, black dude, he would get my haircut for years. He was cool.
Burgers.
Yeah, Kurt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did he own that?
Dude, this dude was he was cool. He was like the most like comically stereotypical. He was from North Carolina and like always had a gallon of sweet tea.
Oh, nice.
And then, but then he rushed. I know this because I used to. The next year I went to the frat house he rushed. What's the most like the quintessential like bro frat house? The one that everyone wants. I don't know, like SAE or something.
There's
not
Pi Kappa Alpha is pretty bro.
Not the S. I think it's SAE. Like the straight SECS one. You know.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that he rushed. It's literally all white dudes, and like there were so many because they were all on my floor. All these legit like super fucking rich kid. It was annoying as shit, dude. Like legit, like your parents probably worth $100 million and stuff. They were all trying to rush this frat, and they only took the black dude into their frat. It was the funniest thing. And then he would give me haircuts in the frat, but he was good. And then but then like black barbers take it so serious with like all the sterilization and shit. So they just alcohol the fuck out of your neck. Which is you should do, but
their
like,
skin
it hurts. Black
haircuts
hurt way more than like a normal one.
I think they're I think there's a subconscious way to go like see what happens when you got to play by our rules. Now we're gonna drive Mojave Desert your fucking neck.
Yeah, there we go.
Haircut.
Yeah.
So I think because I know exactly what you're talking about. Because like the hot towel's nice, but they'll do the back with like the alcohol, and you're just like, dude, I know. I did not need that.
It's like I'll risk the mites. I'll risk the weird fungal growth on the back of my neck. You know, like I'm good. I trust you. Yeah,
dude. I drink lion's mane, dude. I drink lion's mane. Haircut fungus is the least of my worries. And then they'll be like, white people be having neck fungus.
Yeah. Let me get out the white shears, dude.
Yeah. Oh, he wants a white man cut. He don't be caring about the worms.
There is in spite of everything I just said, there is like a type of dude that seeks out like the barbershop to be the bro. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, or what was it like the political, like
Middle Eastern guys will go to black barbers because they can get it. It does look tight, by the way. Like it'll look, they'll have like a similar enough hair
like
to
Dubai,
where
Dubai,
bro, I want it right here. Bro, line me up, bro. You gotta line me up.
Self-driving Tesla straight to the.
I took a fucking Waymo here, bro, to get lined up by my homie Playboy. That's my fucking bro, dude. My fucking brother.
It's my boy.
Yeah, always. That's my fucking bro. That is my fucking brother.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't think so. Yeah. So, does your dad like Playboy the Barber, bro? My dad is on some. It's tripping, bro. Like, we're gonna get you right back to the episode, but I just wanted to let you guys know of a few other things we offer at Rare Candy Industries. We have a Substack with free and paid subscription options. Free subscribers get access to all written content. That includes Bob's Red Pill. That's the best thing going on the internet right now. Trust me. Paid subscribers get full access to our premium episode feed. And that's just every episode we don't necessarily want to share with the general public, if you know what I'm saying. Again, that's rarecandy.substack.com. We also have merch. That link's a little long for me to say right now, but go to the description, go to our merch store, and find a shirt that's right for you. We have Rare Candy shirts, Dr. Bronner soap label shirts, Rishi mushroom shirts, all types of stuff there. Check it out. There's got to be something for you. And lastly, check us out on social media. On Instagram, we're Rare Candy Pod, but on Twitter, we're at Rare Candy Pod 1. All right, enough of that. Let's get you back into the episode. We didn't have a chance to talk about this, and it sounds probably stale compared to how the news cycle works, but Tylenol.
Yeah.
Tylenol. You're working on a written piece.
A little preview. We're doing just a short thing. I mean, I don't think it's going to get BRP designation, you know. Okay. Calm your horse. It's not going to be. I don't think it's worty of that title.
Mixtape, not an album.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to do more of those. I'm trying to write a lot more on the stack, dude, and just do even if it's just a couple pages, you know, whatever, what have you. But yeah, Tylenol, the announcement. Yeah. Speaking of mixtape drop, the admit RFK.
Yeah, so it was weird when that came out. I remember you and I the day before being a little skeptical of what was going to happen with this. Like, we're gonna, you know, because Trump was at Charlie Kirk's funeral, like, we're gonna talk about autism tomorrow. Like
holding
I mean, I don't want to laugh because I'm just like, it's just like, what a beast. But it was hilarious. Like, it was just, but anyways, I was just thinking like, okay, like it's going to be I remember them saying like Tylenol is going to be the cause. And I think vaccines will be scapegoated. Now, I was thinking that. And then this is the problem with like clips. And I saw like a lot of people who are like skeptical of like even RFK, who are like, I'm to the, whatever direction of RFK. Like, I think Pfizer should explode tomorrow. Like those people, they were like already getting mad. They're like, he says it's Tylenol. And then I watched the entire thing. I'm like, dude, stop reacting to like literally, if this is your whole thing, you can be the person that listens to the whole thing. If your whole thing is health, you can be the guy that listens to the 20-minute press conference. Like I feel like you owe that to like people to do that. And they
snuck it in there, and no one talked about it.
Dude, Trump was great. I don't even
do the thing, and you were the one that told me about it.
No, because you were laughing. You're like, dude, because I even said I was like, man, is this like some long game? You're like, no, it's bullshit. And then I was like, yo, like this dude is like going off right now. And it was funny because like you could see RFK was like, dog, I didn't even like want. I'm like, this is a slow. I was like, next month I was gonna say this shit. Dog. Like, and Don's like, autism. It's he was like really going off, and he was like, the Amish, they don't have it, and like they were hitting the Steve Kirsch lines, hitting the and then he basically said, he's like, there's heavy metals in these vaccines, which I tend to think I don't want to like. I tend to think Barron has a little something like his, because Trump was tweeting about this in like 2015. Like was like many such cases. That's what that comes from.
That's
the
autism.
No, so I'm wondering
if many such cases comes from like a vaccine red pill.
It is. He said, crazy, many such. It's a and you wonder like, why would Trump care about that back then? Like why would he care about? And I'm not saying Barron does, but like he seems like a little like kind of quiet, kind of like a kid, and you just never know. You just never know. And maybe Trump was like, yo, after like that first appointment, like Barron's not like talking that much or something, or like not. Maybe something like that happened. I hate to like, I don't want to sound like I'm doing it. I just mean, I've always thought like Trump actually cared about autism. Like I always thought like he actually cared. And it's like, sometimes you have to have a little skin in the game.
Well, he's the first. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. He's definitely the first guy to ever talk about it on the platform like that. And look, I'm pretty critical. Like the Albert Bourla thing just happened. I'm like, I can call that gay. Like that's gay. I get you got to play the game, and I get that there's a game. Like I'm not naive and everything, but also like I'm like I don't have to pretend that's tight. Like hyping up Paxlovid for some reason. It's weird.
He was like Bobby.
So I'm like, okay,
Paxlovid immediately. Yeah.
But the Tylenol thing. But the end, and this always happens. I was with some more of our CNN Chapo family members, love them to death. Whenever any of this news breaks, and of course they're like, oh my God, did you hear about Tylenol? And I'm at the point now, honestly, it's probably not healthy, and I probably need to speak up eventually, but I'm just like, oh yeah, and they're like, God, Tylenol, did you hear about Tylenol? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's a Rorschach test because no one listened to the clips. He did talk about aluminum.
Yeah, and they didn't have Kimmel for a week,
which
so they were really scared. All of them were very loyal Kimmel watchers too.
Had never seen maybe one clip in the last 8 years, but they all care. And I just found out today. So I check out, one of my main heroes in this realm is Dr. Christopher Exley, who's University of Leeds or whatever, and he was
Leeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Lebowski.
And he had a he did a lot of studies showing that if you literally take autistic kids' brains that have died, like cadavers, their aluminum levels in their brains are all off the charts, which is like, and then he got his, even though he has 40 years of aluminum expertise research at a top university and was this, scientific advisor for decades, he got his funding pulled in 2021 for an association with RFK Jr. So anyway, but I just learned from him today, reading his stuff, that Tylenol pills are the color that makes the pill is literally like aluminum based pigment.
What?
And so it's like, and he's saying, he's like, to be clear, it's not, he's like, I don't believe that Tylenol moves the needle a lot in autism. He's like, it's vaccines, it's aluminum adjuvants and vaccines. But he's like, yeah, he said the same thing you did. He watched the press conferences. He's like, damn, like I was like, this dude's actually talking about this stuff. But yeah, it's a Rorschach test because all the Chapo CNN types are they're like, oh my god, how ridiculous that he would even say that. And then meanwhile, you can find literally hundreds of screenshots and PubMed articles and NHS articles and scientific papers and Harvard meta review where they take 50 studies and they analyze all of them. And the Harvard dean of med school is like, oh yeah, Tylenol, you got to watch out for Tylenol when you're pregnant because it can make your kid retarded. And, and like going back, and then NPR headlines being like, hey, watch out for Tylenol, which by the way, they scrub, so they'll literally like remove the references from a 2013 article because Trump and RFK talked about Tylenol and autism, which is like, obviously that's like super unethical and insane, but that's like borderline evil, and that's kind of like, what are we doing here? And so so for those guys, I pilled a few people. I was like, not people on the border, they're not like the lost ones where I'm like, hey, here's like all these headlines, it's like, this is from 10 years ago, like, what do you, and they're like, oh, that's interesting, and but yeah, some people are just too far gone in that realm. Yeah, and then you have the people that are like, why isn't he talking about vaccines more? So it is what it is.
He did though. That's the crazy thing is like you watch the thing. It's like, what I mean is like, what do you want him to say? What he said, like a president, which I didn't think he'd ever do personally. I thought it was going to be like through a proxy, through like somebody else, like somebody was going to say this. The dude like went out there and people were like, this is just evil, unethical, evil and stuff. And now to me, now I know Trump is not the czar of all this, but like if Tylenol is to be shown as what RFK is suggesting it is as like kind of a way to it. Now I tend to think that I thought he was doing an order or kind of like an order of operations thing. It's like, okay, you think it's born. You think kids are born this way. Like you think this way. I was okay. If you're taking it prenatally, stop. Yeah. And then, okay, now a lot of us realize that after a certain dosage of shots, that's RFK. RFK, we know that RFK knows what it is. Because that's originally, that's like his big, that was what changed him was moms coming up to him saying, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm going insane, but I noticed something different about my child after their shots. And, and they get relegated into the crystal, which apparently is horrible being a crystal mom. Definitely not her. Yeah, not her. But so anyways, what I was thinking was that like, okay, during COVID or during any sort of health crisis, if you were to have gone against the CDC or gone against, the leader or whatever, or, Secretary of Health or anything, they were all in lockstep with each other. And if you were to do that, like you could get your medical license revoked and God knows what else, right? Like name smeared,
or like censored on YouTube,
censored, any of that.
Yeah.
Now, if a doctor recommends Tylenol right now, what happens? Nothing, right? So it's like, they're actively defying.
And of course, the pregnant TikTok moms slamming a third of a bottle of it and getting like people don't understand. Like Tylenol kills people every year, and it does irreversible liver damage. Like it's not a safe drug.
That's it's literally a Cat Williams joke about that. Yeah. Like he says, like we're talking about weed. Like he's like, nobody ever died of weed. You might have thought that motherfucker was dead, but he's gonna wake up and eat your whole fridge. He goes, Tylenol. You could take a bunch of them things, and it's gonna be your last headache. Like he says that in the thing, and everyone, and like again, like it's a stand-up comedian, but it's like he's saying it as like an obvious thing that everyone knows.
So, exactly. No, and there's and there is the kind of like I'm not decrying this, but the boilerplate based take, which is kid goes in for a vaccine shot, they get vaccines, start screaming and crying from pain. Mom, doctor, mom, etc., give them Tylenol, which depletes the glutathione in the body, which severely prevents acute detoxification.
Yeah.
So then all that, and it might weaken blood-brain barrier and stuff, and then so those metals just get lodged in your brain. which I think is valid for sure. I think that's absolutely like could be a causal thing. You know, sometimes like the based takes get cemented in, and it's just because they're repeated so much, and they're not necessarily wrong, but they might just, you don't know the scale or like the degree of what it is. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean the libs are just gone. Like taking Tylenol to own RFK, which is crazy because I was talking like a thalidomide, which is the drug that was banned in the 60s, 50s and 60s for causing birth defects. Like literally your kid would be born without like hands. You know, or like a right arm.
Some like National Enquirer ass
yeah.
kid. Like,
yeah,
like
100%.
that baby. Yeah.
And they actually talk about it in Breaking Bad, where they're talking about chemical chirality, which is the right hand, left-handed, where you have
whoa.
You have like a left-handed molecule, which is totally safe, and then they patent and manufacture the right-handed one, which causes all these effects. And I don't know, like libs just have this weird view of science where they, for example, so like so RFK's uncle, the president,
heard of him,
awarded this scientist this Medal of Honor, some presidential medal of honor for courage, for blowing the whistle on thalidomide drugs.
Too short, shout out.
Yeah, exactly. And for being like, because everyone is using same thing. Everyone's like, they're totally safe. And she, the woman scientist, woman in STEM, shout out.
Shout out, like, got us to the moon.
So anyway, so like literally went, yeah, exactly. You might have evidence. But
Black's mom got us to the moon. Yeah.
But like it took one person blowing the whistle and being like, hey, this is like maiming kids all over the world, especially in the United States and stuff, where people are just prescribing it like crazy. Fought tooth and nail against her. And then the retrospective is just like, oh yeah, we just learned that it was bad and we updated our recommendations. And it's like, that's not what happened. Like, you guys consistently want to ruin people's careers for being correct. It's been this way forever.
Yeah.
And so it's just it's another one of those examples where they're like, oh yeah, we just all came together and decided thalidomide no more, not good. You know, we're gonna be adults and like get it. It's like they have this weird retro like retconning of this shit. You know?
Yeah, it was like they had an HOA meeting about it or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we finally thanks really it was just one guy, annoying guy, that kept saying it all the time. But then we all voted years later after he was smeared and removed from the housing committee.
Exactly.
Now we've decided, we played heads up 7-Up style, where we all put our hands down. We put our heads down and then hands up, and a person counted. It was just they act like it's like, well, first off, like they do believe that like science has like a release date, like a new Tesla model or like a new iPhone. Like they're just like, if you're 10 years early on the science, you guessed correctly, which that process is bad if you did that, which we know that's not true. But to their idea, it's like, no. You just happened to have flipped the coin and landed on tails, when 10 years later, we academically studied how the coin lands on tails.
Yeah.
Like I know it's not like a perfect analogy.
No, it's like COVID. Like you were like COVID, Scott Adams. Like you were accidentally right. You had no reason to be right, even though you were. And it's like, well, that's convenient.
You're gonna do harm if you keep like playing your hot streak. It's like like they view it like gambling, which
you bet the over. You're 7-1.
Play the hot
7-1 betting the over this week.
Yeah, don't bet on a backup quarterback. Jake Browning is not going to cover. You know, it's like which that was true. But the these people who I have no like respect for them, and I know right now they're getting like 1% of the punishment they deserve, which is like truly, like these people are getting like they're getting the most minor pushback right now, and it's being played as like fascism, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But like the fashion, like they're just going like, oh my gosh, we're in the new. It's like, dude, I wish I could put your, I don't even want to say brain, but like my brain in your body during 2020, 2021, and I'll let you see what that was like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like where like it was just straight up like, actually, dude, our fucking YouTube channel is still shadow banned. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Like, even if you don't listen there, you don't have to like watch anything on there, but just like subscribe to us on YouTube. Dude, we have like the same amount of subscribers we've had for like everything else grows except YouTube. and I know it's for a reason. Like the shorts can't get more than a certain amount of like they get like capped off at a certain thing. It's literally the same number every time.
And you're referencing that YouTube recently admitted YouTube had to pay the Trump admin like $100 million, right?
I think it was like 21, but yeah, that's sick.
I think like in total through all the platforms, he's getting like hundreds of. Yeah, but you're right. It's 20. Yeah,
incredible.
But yeah, where does that money go? Like, you're like, is that like just going to spend it on a nice dinner or something, or like what's
Scotland golf, dude? Just hitting which I fully support, by the way.
For sure.
Play around on YouTube, Donnie.
But yeah, with Bryson DeChambeau, dude, I love that.
DeChambeau, he'll go hit up Rory, dude. He'll hit up Rory. He'll go overseas and hit Rory.
But YouTube again. This is like the same week that the Kimmel thing happened, where Kimmel got put on timeout for 5 days because his own sponsors were like, "No, we're not down with this." Like, and it is maybe you can be debated. Like, okay, again, you could debate the Kimmel thing, be like, "Hey, maybe the chair of the FCC shouldn't be mouthing off on a podcast." You could debate that. I'm not willing to hear it from fucking liberals, dude. I'm just not going to hear.
I don't think you can debate it either. My thing is like that. Like
what I'm saying though, right? Like,
I know. I'm not
going to fucking hear it. Dude.
I heard the principle. No, because I've heard it from like a principled centrist type who's like basically dipped their feet into the other side, but then now is trying to go. Actually, what the other side needs is not my. Yeah, like it needs my nuanced opinion, which I'm sorry is just not true. We don't need that, and I'll let you guys insert, talking head here. I'm not going to name any names, but we've all seen it where it's like they're like, oh, anything to take down this neoliberal establishment, anything. And then after a while they go, Kimmel guys, like for real, like they do that. Like I'm getting scared. I really love celebrities read mean tweets, so Guillermo, they stopped being racist to Guillermo. Dude, like the little Mexican guy, like they stopped being racist to him on the show, and like nobody watches anymore.
I like the Megan, not to cut you off, but like I like the Megyn Kelly thing where like, okay, I was fired from my job for saying you shouldn't get fired for wearing blackface, and he literally wore blackface multiple times. And
I agree. But what do I say about hypocrisy? It doesn't matter. Exactly. It does, Megan. Like it. I know it's good to point that out. Like on her saying, if you're a centrist right now in the middle, like it's like you understand the rules do not apply to you. Like their rules their own rules inflicted on you do not apply for them. That's why when the roles are reversed, you can't be like, let's just even the playing field. Like that's you can't leave any room. You cannot leave any daylight.
I heard in the wild. Right-wingers are using cancel culture way more than the left ever did.
And
I'm like, how?
Because of Kimmel.
What? I'm like, what reality are you living in? Like, even if you're not even if you're a centrist or whatever, which I kind of am on a lot of stuff, even though I hate that term, but it's like, there's no way you could believe that statement coming out of your mouth. No way.
No, like, so my thing about Kimmel is the people. I talked about this on the Glen word a little bit, but like the FCC chair, like the FCC can do whatever they want to like fine a person. Like Howard Stern used to get fine after fine from like back in the day. I'm not even talking about Howard Stern now. I'm talking about like back in the day, like
the OG
porn, like literally doing porn in the studio,
with a
Sibian, the fucking like tiny dick contest. Literally, like they would have dudes come in with like inverted penises and women with
tiny dick.
Literally, he did the tiny dick. He did the tiny dick concert, and he would like have guys with like inverted penises that look like fucking, I don't know, I won't even say it, like certain journalists, and they look like certain centrist journalists, and like would come in with like an inverted penis, and people would laugh at them. And like again, the FCC wasn't like, man, there's nothing we could do. Like they would do stuff to him. Like they would go, guess what though? Like the juice was worth the squeeze for the network, And what I will say is, I was getting back to your original point where it was like, there's an argument. I know you're not saying this, but like some people say there's an argument to be made. Now they use Joe Rogan as the foil for this, or the inverse of Jimmy Kimmel, like the right version, which again, like Joe Rogan gets absolutely destroyed by the right wing every single day for saying something Like, you know what I mean? Like the right wing does not claim Joe Rogan in the way that libs think they do. But let's just pretend that they do.
He's not far enough for them.
First off, people were trying to get him removed from Spotify. Like they were. To say that nobody tried to do it is not true. And for a while, he couldn't, like, he wasn't on YouTube for a while. It wasn't because of that. However, if his stuff was on YouTube, it would have been really tough for it to stay there during the COVID time. Now,
and also, I'll just interject the stupid link Spotify disclaimers, that they have the COVID, like, like if you have Robert Malone on, then it's like, COVID is a real virus. Like
ours are, we have a bunch of those. Yeah.
I'm like, that's actually egregious enough in and of itself. Like that should not be allowed to be. Like I'm sorry, like you should not be allowed to push propaganda under someone's. I know it's their platform or whatever. I'm not saying that's illegal or whatever, but I'm like, that's stupid enough on its own to warrant be like, no, fuck that. So go.
Oh, it's crazy. So I guess what I mean too is Jimmy Kimmel's on a major network. If Jimmy Kimmel was on Jimmy Kimmel Podcast Network, you know what I'm saying? Like if he was on Jimmy Kimmel Podcast Media, his own thing, first off, Rogan's sponsors are all people who are like love Rogan's show, like, and it's like they sell products to their audience. So it's like as long as Rogan's numbers are good, they're gonna keep the Traeger going. They're gonna keep the fucking whatever the pills
Traeger
and all. Traeger U, and they're gonna say like that's gonna be fine. Kimmel worked for fucking Disney. Yeah. And I'm sorry, like I still die on this hill. Like if you're doing state propaganda, which I think Colbert, Kimmel, all those people were doing state propaganda under the Biden administration. They were, whether they bought in or not fully. That's not, I think, like Adam Carolla came out and he's like, I know the real Jimmy. That's not the real Jimmy. Well, okay, that's what Jimmy shows to the world. So it doesn't really matter.
Where's the tight Jimmy podcast?
Exactly. Which again, like I think he used to be a funny person back in the day. Like he has like a sense of humor, you can tell. But anyways, like he hasn't shown that for years. But Rogan made his own network. Like he made his own thing. Like I know he's with Spotify technically, but there's way less like chain of command from.
He's a first mover.
Yeah, and if Spotify drops Rogan, their number tanks. Now that did kind of happen with Kimmel. Like people were like, I'm canceling my Disney Plus, but I don't think those were a lot of Kimmel watchers. I think those were people reacting to the news. Yeah. And so what I'm saying at this point is like Kimmel is doing state propaganda, and he signed up for that. Colbert did as well. If the state changes a little bit, as it just did, it's Trump time now, and you don't do state propaganda anymore, what are you supposed to do with that type of person?
Yeah, it's a sand. You're building a foundation on quicksand, and it's like and that's the thing. I think it points to just the whatever side you're on, whatever you agree with or whatever, just the hubris of thinking that you can always go on TV and say that the unvaccinated deserve to die. Like that you can get paid $15 million a year,
which he's not being punished for.
Not being punished for.
That's great. That's
also celebrating. I know it's the hypocrisy. Celebrating every other person getting fired from their job. Yeah. Tucker and every. You know what I mean? Everybody. Which is like, so it's like, I'm sorry, the crocodile tears. Like, fuck off, dude. Like I don't care about that.
And also, like, I'm sorry, like the late night medium is not going to be something that millennials and younger consume.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the easiest way out for a network. And now again, the number did suffer. Boycotts do work in a way. I mean, they do. Like then the libs did that. Now you have Kimmel. Now you have him back. I'm to be honest, I'm actually kind of glad he's back. Like a little bit, like only because it's like the whole fascism thing. It's like, okay, for a week, you lost Kimmel for a fucking week.
And the thing, yeah, exactly. The other thing, the most offensive thing is that with all the teams of writers and stuff, the show is not funny, nor is Colbert's.
No.
And who's the guy?
He had Gavin Newsom. Kimmel had Gavin Newsom on. Like
who's Seth Meyers?
Yeah, Seth Meyers.
Mm-hmm. Who's like, I will say, like, in the early days, 2016 and stuff, like he did this. He went after Trump a lot, and like a lot of it's kind of funny. Like as far as it was, I think the funniest stuff of that genre. Because you could tell he wasn't like obsessed with it, and it was kind of like a 20,000 foot view. I'm not saying I was like a fan or I watched it all the time or whatever, but I'm like, out of all that stuff, it wasn't like he's the ice and the
sniveling. He
whoa,
wasn't
and like
sniveling.
and he's like crying.
Serious
and
serious hat. Yeah.
Like they were legit bits that were like
Yeah.
like SNL, like
Right.
Weekend Update shit.
How South Park used to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, that's kind of funny, you know, and like, yeah. And but yeah, that's not the sniveling stuff is just so
you can't like and then like you have the Antifa thing, right?
Yeah. Portland.
First off, I saw your beautiful artwork in Portland. That was a great job.
Yeah, I mean,
you. For anyone who doesn't know,
like I said,
I wrote "Girl Cock Tastes Better" out there. Now, you guys,
it's hard. I have to drive. I live out of town. I have to drive into town to make that, and then I come back. By the way, I just got a point. This is totally random, but my new artwork actually inherited that. Can you see it?
I'd have to. I'm sure people on YouTube can because they can. I have to full screen it myself. Oh yeah, that's not Horson. Yeah. Horson Wells. Love it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah. But we in Portland, I was laughing because that Girl Cock Tastes Better thing was so funny because I was like, that sounds like a Tyler the Creator album. No, like that would come out like Tylenol the Creator. Like that is your name. You came up with that. That's a great name for this episode. But yeah, but Girl Cock Tastes Better sounds like Tyler. He's like, I'm just as edgy as I once was, man. Like, you know, like in that voice, like he's like, I eat cockroaches and girl cockroaches, man. But girl cockroaches taste better. And he's just and like it's like the Yonkers video where it's a silhouette and he's just like a big girl, a cock with a silhouette of a dress going into his mouth.
It's like a dildo with the antennas shadow, like
it's Earl Sweatshirt, but his name's Earl Dress. Earl Romper.
It's funny. Who in the Discord was like, is everyone in Portland just LGBTQ now? And it's yes, they are, dude.
Dude, everyone's queer.
And it's crazy. Well, I remember talking like because I used to have like some family up here when I first moved up here. And we were talking, it's like you legit when you first come to Portland, you feel legit you're like I'm embarrassed because I don't have tattoos. Like, is that like visible sleeves and shit? It's like,
I know.
I'm like in the minority here.
Ooh, tattoos are a tough one, I think.
And I'm not hating. I'm not
hating. However, and it's like anything else. Like these things break beyond a niche of a type and then it becomes like a default. And I've noticed a lot of guys, and I'm not Mr. Tough Guy. It's not me. But I noticed a lot of guys, especially when you know them from birth and like you don't see them for a while and they get the big beard with the glasses and tattoos and they put on a bunch of weight and they're like, they all of a sudden become tough guys. And you're like, you're not a tough guy, you know? And so like, that's like, it's like, that's the one thing. And I'm not, South Park is a shell of what it once was, but the South Park PC principle thing, that's the one thing they got wrong is that they dress like fucking that instead of like Oakley's and like crew cut. They dress like fucking they dress like these like First We Feast YouTuber guys, like with these big fucking beards, glasses, and tattoos everywhere. And then they're like,
the reason they do
imposing.
They do it because it works. By the way, it legit works. It's a good dude. If you're I've like talk to girls that are like, I'm like, what do you think of that dude? You know, like the squares dude, and they're like, oh my god, his tattoos, and I'm
it's like a yoga pants hack kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's like a very, you know, it's
well,
like
if you're getting a double chin, like which like I've at times seen like on the horizon, like something coming in.
Yeah, you're getting fat, bro.
Yeah, I am. I got a few extra, but like but what I mean is like there's times like, or like you open your phone the wrong way and you're like, what the fuck, dude,
that gets me all the time.
Yeah, I know. You're like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like what, like, and like literally what you're eating gets thrown in the garbage. Like it's horrible. And so what I mean is I like cannot get a good beard going. So I'm like, damn, like I do respect that. Like I'm like, you can hide that double chin a little bit. And what I'm saying is like there's certain guys that are like UFC'd up that like you can tell beard tattoos, like, all right, man, I'm good.
Yeah, it's like a
food truck guy with the fucking beard and tattoos. You're like, damn, I know what's going on.
It's like a correlation causation thing. Like Max Crosby isn't faking it. I don't
No,
think.
no,
No. Yeah, it's like,
and he does UFC training. Yeah, it's
for
scary.
sure.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
Max Crosby as a food truck guy.
for sure.
It's like,
Well, he does
yeah.
have like they do all have like burgers at like the Vegas burger places like named after them. So
Yeah,
they're
for
almost
sure.
there. But
Yeah.
the Portland thing is really funny because like right now,
Yeah.
this is another thing I think that's really getting at the centrists. And I think there's a lot of like people who, especially if they're on like the left right now, people who have been really critical of us, like from the left side, that still tune in every week, but like are really critical and like say that we've like really jumped the shark or something. I cannot muster up any sympathy for Antifa. I just can't.
No,
I just can't. I like, first off, to me, like, because I'm thinking about it from this sense. Like, let's say you are Antifa and you've always wanted to be like we are like the resistance, like we are this, and like you're eating your donuts with Captain Crunch on them, like you're really, really excited about the situation. You're at your like anarchist coffee place in Portland, all the stereotypes and stuff, and you're like, I want to be taken seriously, like we are the resistance to this thing. It's not Democrats, man, because we're not Democrats, man. We are Antifa. And then somebody actually designates you as the opposition.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, it's like, it's the whole thing with the protesters. Like the protesters, when they block the bridge and then some guy runs them over, and they're always like, that was like not in their mind as ever happening. Like that a guy, like a Harvey Keitel, bad lieutenant, Daryl Strawberry double play, like fucking guy, like doesn't just like run you over, you know? Like you're just like, wait, so in your mind, there were every permutation of Family Guy walruses like hitting like the things or the South Park Family Guy thing. I keep referencing South Park, and it's not a good thing to do right now because but whatever. When the manatees like hitting the balls like with Family Guy bits, none of that came out to like that guy in the car's pissed off and might run us over, or like that like
that's fuel to the fire. They want that. What it does is it brings, and I don't know. I feel I'm far less. Obviously, I'm not sympathetic to the Antifa side at all. Mm-hmm. And there is like a Fox News. It is fodder for like the Fox News.
Sure,
like
of course.
There was a guy, one of my friends' dads came out here on a visit and hung out with us for a week from like Texas.
Yeah.
And everyone was like warning us, like, okay, this guy's a little crazy. This dad is a little crazy. He's from Texas. You know, he's a little wild. And of course, we fucking hit. I'm like, this dude's sick as fuck. He's like, fucking, and he
just like open carries and
100%.
Like, it's cool.
No, he like checked a bag onto the plane of like all his tools so he could help build our shed or like fix our shed and stuff.
What a fascist, dude.
I know. And but he literally he's like, I'm taking a day. I'm taking the train into downtown. I'm just gonna see what's going on down there. I think I've talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it was so that guy's clearly like looking for something. You know, it's like it's an ecosystem. They feed into each other for sure. But the Antifa thing, and I've worked in Portland restaurants, prep kitchens and shit for a long time, and like worked with these guys. And one of them I actually quite liked. It was pretty funny. It was one days when I was more sympathetic to like Chapo, like with the start of our like 2019, like right before we started our podcast. Yeah, like they them dude, and very funny and like very, but still of that ilk, and you know.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, they do that.
I don't believe the problem exists. You said he was very funny.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe I'd be less inclined to think that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You know, but good heart. You know, you can tell.
Yeah. I know.
I'm someone that's always like that. That guy's got a good heart and stuff. But the problem is that they are correct when they say it's like decentralized and there's no leader. It's they do both sides. Two sides of the same coin, where they have like free lawyers giving them free legal counsel and like endless support through all these networks throughout the city. It's a classic not happening, but it's good leftist thing with Antifa. And the problem with like when you know everyone in Portland knows a guy, if you're like a leftist, you know a guy who knows a guy, and so you're like you're always I am 1 degree removed from people
who like claim that
on the streets, like beating up people and fighting and shit.
Yeah.
Just by the fact that I worked with a guy, you know, that so everyone knows people that knows people.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like this. So they're connected to it and they feel a need to, they can never call it retarded. They could be like, oh my God, he got hit with a rubber bullet. Like, and that's fascism and stuff. And
reflexive defense is like a thing.
Yeah, reflexive defense. And it is like the gestalt or whatever of it is, you know, it is troops on the street and like it is like clashing. Every side wants it. They want this. They want the drama.
Yeah,
of it.
they want to see the National Guard. They want to see it all. Yeah,
and I'm kind of for like I don't know. Dude. Portland, during the COVID craziness when I moved in the tiny house and
tiny house
and the George Floyd, yeah, exactly, yeah. During the Floyd, like the Floyd thing, quickly, and I think it was retarded, but to their credit, there was a lot of legit peaceful protesting in Portland of like people just walking around on streets with signs, like silent, not saying a word, or chanting, and like I don't want that taken away as a human right, even if I don't like, I'm just like, okay, this is stupid, and you all want us locked in our houses and forced vaccines and stuff,
right?
And you're my enemy in many ways. But to their credit, but then it just devolved into like downtown people throwing cinder blocks through courtroom windows for literally over 100 days. And I remember distinctly though, because I drove out to my mom's, the only thing that stopped it was massive wildfires that covered the whole city in smoke for like 3 days straight, to where you couldn't be outside for more than 20 minutes because you'd choke.
Didn't people say Antifa started the fires too?
They did, but I don't.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. But I just remember thinking
I wouldn't put it past them at all. But I don't think that's what happened. But yeah, so that's the only thing that stopped 100 days of rioting, and so it's like, again, it's like I've talked to these people and they're like, Antifa's not a threat, man. They're not doing anything. I'm like, bro, they're creating hell on earth in downtown. You can't go downtown anymore. It's like, it's not a city anymore. That's certain parts of it. And so
I know my wife and I went for your wedding, and we took a day through Portland. And I had the last time I had been to Portland was, I want to guess, like 2013.
Okay, yeah.
Which again, there's probably still a little bit of that. Yeah, exactly. It was Fred Armisen. Like you're just like, okay, hey, like quirky glasses guy. Just like, okay, fine.
Harmless.
Like good food, fresh air, just beautiful fresh air. Good food, just like liberal people, just like whatever. It's just any other city. Yeah, exactly. It was, and I was like, I love this place. I was like, like food felt like farm to table, like it felt so good. And then,
which, by the way, like conservatives are always able to like blend into that, to be like, this is fine. I'm not going to hate.
Well, people would view it like a conservative man might walk into this store.
Yeah.
And that was like what I mean is I hate the perpetual shocked by the possibility of something like that, where like they're like, this guy might be mad that I'm protesting. This guy, like when we were, saying we hated COVID, all of this stuff, I was fully ready for someone to tell me that I was evil, and fully ready for someone to wipe our shit off the internet. I didn't want it to happen, but I was ready. I knew that there would be somebody that I just hate this faux shock of like, wait, I thought you guys were the resistance. Like if you're the resistance and somebody identifies you as the resistance, like you can't be shocked by that. Like and then to say, oh, well, it doesn't exist. That's just a saying. No, like, come on. And I'm sorry, like what you said earlier about like the COVID, stuff, where you were just like, man, these people just like I wanted to like resist something, but these people's idea of resistance is just throwing cinder blocks through things and in fact saying I'm part of the problem for viewing the world the way for not wanting every pharmaceutical intervention known to man, for not wanting this, for not believing in like, I'm sorry, just like woke nonsense, like all of these things, because what they say the principled centrist line for the whole Antifa derangement thing that's happening right now, that I'm sorry, it just falls flat with me, is they say, look at the precedent this sets. Because I don't want to say this, but let's say President Gavin Newsom happens. I am not worried about any sort of precedent when that happens, because it already happened in 2021. They said we were going to die during the winter. They said they shut down churches. They shut down schools. They did all of these things.
Fired you for your fucking job.
Fired you for your job for not wanting this, if you got caught on an anti-masking video or something like that, they could easily send it, and your company decided, well, we don't want to go against this.
There's zero leftist pushback on
any.
If you push back, you were kicked out of the club.
It.
Yeah, you were kicked out of the club.
Yeah, like to
it's
me,
good,
like that
actually.
was so. Like what I mean is, I hate the idea that what we do has to be. Oh, we got to be worried about the precedent this sets. They just throw a fucking brick through a window, and don't worry about any sort of consequence. I fucking.
They they're very violent, and it's and again, people, the Portlander types will sneer at that and be that, and I think like, I'm not like Proud Boys or whatever shit, like that stuff is super gay, and like
never was into it.
It's totally infested by feds, and it's a fake problem and stuff, and you always hear this like, oh, Proud Boys, they like killed this guy, and you're like, wait, what? It's like, that's crazy. And then
they
like
killed a guy. Wow.
And then like the next day they're like, oh, actually he just overdosed, and like he was at a Proud Boys like anti-protest, and it's like, okay, so you're lying about that. And again, I'm not defending.
And also,
like,
if they killed a guy, every right-wing person, for the most part, understands that person will probably go to jail for that. And like every time, like, and of course there would be one guy going, "Free him! You didn't do shit." Like, of course that's gonna happen.
By the way,
but like
that example I gave is not fake. That literally happened in my life.
I know.
Where someone was like crying and be like, "Oh, the Proud Boys killed a guy." I'm like, wait, if that's true, that's crazy. And the next day they're like, well, it turns out it was like complicated, and it was. And I'm like, okay, so that didn't happen.
Well, I mean, technically, capitalism killed him.
Yeah,
the overdose.
So that's the thing. It's like this weird. It's like this Chinese finger trap, or like a rat shit, where
Wuhan finger
you're able
trap.
Wuhan finger trap, where you're able to prescribe like this nebulous thing as violence when it's not, and then you're actually able to carry out justified physical violence.
Yes.
And by the way, the whole thing with like, there are examples of, and I'm not following this closely by any means, but I just seeing it come across now and then. But there are examples of like Antifa protesters like hurting people, like punching someone in the face or hitting them with a pipe, and the cops don't do anything about it. So the fact that it's like cops versus Antifa, this protest style is de facto legal, and it's not punished. It's not being punished.
Yeah.
And these people, they don't care. They want the drama, and they want violence, and they want the fun of it. It's fun for them. That's all this is. That's all this is. It's not about ICE. It's not about any of this. I'm sorry. Like, if you think it is, you need to reconsider that you need to look at like the deeper psychology of what's going on here.
I was, because I went and I've noticed too, like, I know this gets pointed out all the time, but I think there's an inherent truth to this that a lot of people think about. Like, there's a lot of people that watch the video on their phone of violence happening, of, the Tom Morello, like that stuff. And they wouldn't ever do that themselves, but they're like, hell yeah. Like that's happening. And they want, like, I recently watched, I'm going to do a full episode on this because it's coupled with the book, but I just watched One Battle After Another, which I think it's a good movie. And it is not a pro, like, it is in a way. There's definitely like, it's just like a Thomas Pynchon novel where you're like, good luck figuring out what his stance is on it. But like, it's just like the Paul Thomas Anderson, like, it doesn't really like paint a lot of these like leftist agitator people as like good at all. Like, in fact, one of the mom literally runs out on the family and just like, I don't want to be used as a birthing machine. And like Leonardo DiCaprio's like Big Lebowski impersonation is like, I'm stuck with a child. And it's really an endearing like father-daughter film, in my opinion. But again, everybody who hasn't seen it already has made up their mind on it. But what I'm saying is like, I remember like thinking, like, I saw that movie yesterday with my dad, my dad's like a Clinton Democrat. Like, he's not a fucking smash shit in the streets guy. Like, he's just never he's like Jim Cramer. Like, that's like my dad's politics is Jim Cramer. He watches them every day. And he's like, so he's not like, if he sees that happen, he's like, oh, what do you got to fucking burn this in? Now that makes like any opposition look bad. He's that type of guy. So what I mean is, like, the first part of that movie is just smashing shit. And so I think what a lot of people is like, you see a lot of people, the Portland beard guy, glasses stuff goes like, hell yeah, man. Fucking hell yeah, man. And like, that's just what people react to. And I'm going like, wait, so like, they want these like criminal people to be deployed on the street to like just do crime.
They need it. Yeah, they
need these people. And I'm not telling you where they come from or anything. Like, that could be a number of ways. It could be from the prison system, it could be from elsewhere, could be anything like that. They do all this shit by proxy anyways, but they act like the suffering is literally you smacking a spoon out of their mouth to where they can't eat anymore. That's what I'm getting at.
It's absolutely, no, I think you nailed it. I love the Black Patriot dude. I fucking love because it short circuits them.
The actual guy. Yeah.
The guy, the guy wearing the Patriot hat, waving the flag, and like just being like, "You guys are
Yeah.
fucking retarded." And because the kryptonite for Portlanders is just any black person because they just none of them know black people. It's great. They never had black friend. They never had like a black coworker or teacher or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all of them, some of them for sure, but I mean the majority of them, they're so overcompensating with the race thing because Portland is so white and
it's so white,
and they're so self-depreciating, like, oh my god, what a white, look at us white people, you know. It's very
freaking snowstorm out here, man.
Yeah, and it's very and it's so there's the second like a Matt McCusker ass like black Republican dude is like, which I love that bit, by the way. It's so funny.
Yeah,
it just short circuits them because they can't critique it. They can't be like, hey, you're wrong, guy. You know, so they literally
the Bass Pro black guy, the Bass Pro Shop guy.
So that guy immediately wins because it's like softball down the middle of the plate, which is funny. And it's like, and again, it's like, it's very
well.
Again,
they go to propaganda.
Portlanders will like cinder block like a white woman's head, Asian dude's head, like Andy No. They will want to kill someone like that.
Yeah.
But if it's like a Matt, you know, it's like a Matt McCusker dude, it's not. It's on.
Right.
Dude. It's fully. So it's funny, dude. And yeah, it's very, people look, like you said, people look at the clips and go like, hell yeah. And I'm like, I look at that shit and I'm like, you would not catch me in a trillion years down on like doing anything like that. And like even the peaceful stuff, which in another life I was kind of in more activist circles.
I mean, that's an evergreen thing. A peaceful protest will always be a thing.
Yeah.
Like
but even that, I was like, this is so gay. Like I would barely caught up in that. I wouldn't say like it wasn't like a big part of my thing or anything, but the town I lived in, that's all you could do was do that shit. And that's all anyone did. And so I was like in those circles. And even then I was just like, this is so fucking stupid. Like there's so many ways. I don't know. It just seems like that jump the shark, you know, of being able to, I think if you believe in something, you should make a stink about it and, you know, and do, you know, whether it's an environment, I don't know. I think that's your right to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but the Antifa stuff is just so crazy, and it's like, it's like again, like if you, again, I'm not defending anything here, but it's like if you don't want troops called, stop being fucking retards. Like, and by the whole thing was the whole thing that started it was the Reed College, which I used to live right by, which is on Woodstock in Portland. You know, there was one of the, and it's all, again, like we said, like it's all 1 degree of separation. So everyone at Reed College, every kid at Reed College knows an Antifa protester, right?
Right.
And like, and they're all
that wasn't the Brett Weinstein thing, right?
No, that's Evergreen and Washington.
Evergreen, okay.
But Brett he did live in Portland, so it's same.
That's why I always get that confused. Yeah.
But so Reed is what Steve Jobs dropped out of before starting Apple. Yeah. And it's like it's an extremely expensive, extremely like hoity-toity liberal arts college, small enrollment and stuff. Beautiful.
They have those. They have those there.
Yeah, they do. But what happened is a Reed student or someone postdoc something like threw a rock at some cop's head recently within the last couple of weeks, and a Reed security officer, employee of Reed, identified the student or the fellowship or the postdoc or whatever and reported it to the police as, hey, that's the guy that threw the rock at the cop.
Yeah.
Right. Which is assault, which is that's almost like a murder, you know, that's almost like intended murder, you know, it's because you can kill someone with a rock. Right?
Yeah. 100%. And I mean, they think you can kill people with a word.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Reed fired the security guy for the snitch, basically, for snitching on the Antifa.
Damn.
They fired Reed, like the administration, not like, the actual. So that's what started this whole thing, I think, this month is, or last month.
Wow.
Was literally, that's the story. Yeah. So it's like, again, to say that, how is that not institutional support? How is that not, if you're able to throw a rock at a cop's head and your employer will cover for you, or you're literally like a fucking university will be like, no, that's unacceptable to call that out and to try and prevent that. How that's literally institutional support. You have the support of the institutions to commit violence against someone,
Right.
So it's the whole thing is retarded.
It's the whole thing with like Zoran Mandami, who I would imagine what percentage
God.
of Antifa non-members but members or supporters. What do you think the middle of the Venn diagram looks like between Antifa sympathizer and Zoran Mandami? I would guess it's a fucking circle, the whole thing. Right.
By the way, another rich kid. They're all rich. Not all.
They're all rich.
Okay, a huge percent of them are rich. There absolutely are poor Antifa people, for sure. The foot soldiers.
I think they're the ones that get deployed. Yeah,
sure.
They're the ones.
Yeah.
It's like any other army. It's like the jarhead, like frontline people that get killed in like wars, like are usually the like poor guy that really want to dodge Charger, and then the fucking in the same way where it's like the guy that's actually doing crazy shit in the street is usually like a 3-time convicted felon who like probably doesn't have any money.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah,
and so, but the
patronage network.
It is. No, it is. It's a chain of command. And the funny thing is, they pretend there's no chain of command.
Yes,
and like that's the thing is like, and if I'm to look at this, I don't get into the whole terrorism thing, but like, I'm sorry, the Chaz thing. How long was the Chaz thing? Which they say, well, that's not. How do you know that's Antifa? Okay, I'm gonna make a educated guess. But the Chaz thing, like literally lasted like what, like a fucking week without somebody getting raped
3
and
days.
killed. Yeah. Like you're just like, okay, so that's not working.
Dude, the POC gardens, community gardens,
POC garden. And so, anyways. What I was saying is the Zoran Mandami thing, Mamdani, whatever his name is, like the middle, that whole thing is just one circle of a net worth. And people talk about like they're gonna thwart him, they're gonna rat fuck him. Dude, he goes on The View. They're literally having him on The View right now. Dude. And he goes on like every major network and all of these things. You have like so it's like I think the fact is they need to feel that the odds are against them. They need to feel that way, or else it doesn't work. And I think liberals in general feel the need to like they can never actually admit that they're in charge because
that's resistance. It's
exactly.
The resistance.
It is la resistance. You have to think that way because like to me, anytime I know it's like anytime I get mad about like certain things like on the right or something, I don't want to like get into it right now, but like any time I felt like, that was like, I don't like that. Like whatever. It's usually like something for let's be honest, like a conversation can be had most times. Like, like even if it does get like heated and stuff, but like most people will just be like, they're used to having to like listen to you be mad about something, whereas if I get into an argument about literally anything else, like they can make a phone call and get it scrubbed. You know what I mean? Like they can. Like I'm sorry, and the fact that all it takes is to hang out with like a liberal or a leftist person, like even if in like a setting where everything's supposed to be civil, but like all it takes is to hang out with them for like 5 minutes to go, I want you guys to lose for the next 100 years. Like, actually, I want you guys. I can't. I can't say
I disagree. I feel very similar to what you just said, and it's very because it's hard to talk with them because you either stay quiet and they're emboldened to say the craziest stuff, or you speak up and give the lightest amount of Socratic pushback in the most handheld, gentle way, and they chimp out. They absolutely chimp out.
It's a freak out. Yeah.
And the problem is that their stuff is not like battle tested, like stress tested. And that's the problem. And I think that's
if it's battle tested, if it's ever in battle, that is fascism.
Yeah.
To them.
Yeah.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix. With that red candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, running for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, can't do that
shit. And it's interesting.
Yeah, because like to me, like you'll see this this fascist thing, and like my biggest thing about it is when people go like, well, Antifa just literally stands for anti-fascism. So like anytime you protest the government, like that could be viewed as Antifa. And I'm just like, dude, like first off, you guys were too liberal with the word fascism.
We're the anti-bad guys committee. How could you be?
Yeah, exactly. It's Black Lives Matter. Wait, so they don't matter? It's the exact every term.
It's like wait, the founder bought $12 million of real estate in LA, but it's like, oh, you don't care about.
Wait, so they don't matter?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, wait,
Turn on the fire hoses, then, Southern Police Department guy.
It's all rhetorical tricks, dude. It's crazy.
And then
So
you
crazy.
can't. They're too liberal with the word Nazi and fascism for me to ever care about the nuance of their term ever.
And look at what's happening. Again, I'm not. I just came across. I'm not following this deep. Some people are really invested in this.
Everybody's into it.
Look at Ezra Klein barely pushing back and be like, "Hey, we shouldn't call everyone." And people are going psycho on him for being like the most milquetoast critic of that on their side.
And then their coined academic Ta-Nehisi Coates, who is retarded. like seriously, like if you, because I had never heard him speak before. He's just like a name where I was like, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda to me. When I hear that name, I'm like, I don't know what that is, but it's probably not good. But so then I heard him speak, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, dude, and these are people like, again, people I know in my life where I'm like, okay, you might like tangentially support someone like that because he's on your side, but I'm like, wait, you think he's smart?
Yeah, it's
like it's just insane. Like I legitimately think I'm smarter than him. Like and I'm not a person who will, and I'm sure he might know like where to put a comma in a sentence.
He's weirdly, again,
this
is going to sound like a defense where he is like weird. I don't know how to say this without, because again, I don't trust him, but he's like weirdly principled in a way where he actually believes. I think he believes what he's selling more than the average person of that ilk.
I think he believes it.
Ezra Klein doesn't believe what he's saying, is what I'm saying. Like, Ezra Klein knows his whole thing is like, we need to lie about pretending we care about trans sports so that we can win elections.
Which,
whereas,
to be honest, is probably, if you are a Democrat, that's probably true.
His whole thing is like, we're wrong. Not that we're wrong about this, but he's like, we need to pretend that we are wrong about it. So that
he's doing a populist argument for a Democrat thing, because
Coates is like, wait, you're crazy. You're a fascist for saying that.
Which again, as for me, I hope that I would hope that they listen to Ta-Nehisi Coates over Ezra Klein. Now, like, there is times where I hate that the fact that, like, if an election, better than Ezra Klein, I still, like, I barely just caught the clip of like him barely talking once, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is what people, because he wrote, about like, he's coming up in a thing because he wrote like, well, we shouldn't, Charlie Kirk, like, we shouldn't, well, we should call him what he is. He's this, and like,
he's a hate monger.
People were I know, and then like, I'm pretty sure Ezra Klein, who again, I don't think that guy's like, he's not a guy that I agree with, like, but he was a guy who said, he basically was like, somebody said, like, why can't Ezra Klein just go like, what do you think of people who think that about you?
Yeah,
like, no, I don't
think the most basic devil's advocate, most basic logical, like
because people can't, because like for me, like I can feel like I know what people who oppose me, I feel like I know the, I mean, sometimes I can still be surprised by it, but like the depth of the region that they will go to do that, like, which means like you actually have had to like battle test your stuff before, like, whereas somebody just goes like, yo man, like, because I remember like they showed a thing of Emma Vigilant, Jesus Christ, where like there was again, it's a tweet, but still tweets matter a lot to the other side, so there was that like trans volleyball player just like spiking one off a fucking girl's head and like put her in the hospital, and she just goes, ha 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 ha, like, and it's like,
unhinged,
like, I'm sorry, like, don't ever talk about women's rights ever again. Emma Watson had the same thing.
The JK, that's a crazy
the JKR thing, the JKR
bars, dude. What a
she's a killer, dude. She's a killer.
And I like how she said, I like how she didn't. It means something because she didn't spurg on that for 10 years.
Yeah,
she waited on it. And was like, and it's like, hey, you're 35 years old, and I've never thrown you under the bus ever, while you have done that to me 100,000 times.
I made your career, which is 100% true.
Yeah, I made you rich at fucking 14 years old and shit. So she's like, hey, enough with the bullshit. You're full of shit. You're decrying me in public and sending me little private notes saying like, I'm so sorry for you, or I'm so sorry what you're going through. Dude, bars, dude. It's like,
dude, and it's
vindicated, sucks. Dude. Vindicated.
It sucks too, because for anyone who doesn't know, Emma Watson, again, who cares about Harry Potter? I do. So I'm married to someone who deeply cares about Harry Potter. So
you're locked in.
This is a big issue.
Yeah.
But Emma Watson goes on some show. What are these shows? Like,
I know,
sometimes I just look at these
yeah.
shows and it's like, hey, the libtard woman hour on the.
Or it's like,
okay.
or it's like, hey, Emma Watson, come speak at the UN in front of
Yeah.
the entire world.
What
It's like,
podcasts do these? Like, who
yeah,
listens to these?
it's the UN, dude. It's the United Nations.
Like everybody who listens to podcasts, myself included, like you get your weekly docket of like new episodes, and like so one of them is like the Emma Watson, J.K. Rowling thing, and then like Cardi B talking about like sucking Stefan Diggs's dick. Like it's like this is what women listen
Video
to all
podcast.
week. Yeah, like video podcast. I just be going crazy on the dick. Like you just like it just shit like that, and then you're like, is that what they listen to all week? Like, and so anyways, the Emma Watson thing, like she basically for like a year ago or so, she had basically said like she threw J.K. Rowling under the bus. So did Daniel Radcliffe, by the way. He's actually kind of gotten pushed to the side on this. Like, he's fuck him, dude.
Meanwhile, Malfoy is the true king, dude.
Yeah, and
every villain in the Harry Potter movie is actually the tight one. Like it's in real life, it's like uncanny, dude. Lucius.
Hopefully, Alan. I feel like Alan Rickman would have held the line.
Rickman, or I think
Ray Fiennes doesn't say anything. I don't think, which is fine. Like just, it's fine not to say anything. But I know this though. Like I kind of see it like on a very smaller scale. But like what she did, like I get why this was what caused J.K. Rowling to spurg. So a year ago or so, Emma Watson was like what do fucking trans people do to you, JK? Like, they occupy this much in your little head, you know, like doing this, like doing that. Like,
what happened? And I think the big one was that's one of those UN speech or one of those big ass things where she was like, I support all witches in the world. But then I think, and it's controversial whether she actually, but she's like, except for one, like under her breath.
That's a fucking so
referencing
Reddit. That's
JK.
the most Reddit thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Which is like you're literally you can't get more clear than that, you know.
I know, and it's just like, okay, give back the money because you don't. That's money's tainted, Emma.
Yeah.
So okay, of course. So but anyway, she had said she does all those little like decrying things. Now you know I think that issue has about as much opposition to it as it has in the last 10 years. Like I think there's a lot of people going like, yo, like. Even if you're coming at it from like an Ezra Klein angle, like where you're like, yo, is this really worth like mortgaging? Like we look insane defending this, you know? And if you're saying that, but then like Emma Watson finally said like she did the above it all, put it like thing, which I think is actually worse. And I've hated that. Like people have said this about us sometimes where they feel the need to say I don't agree with everything they say, and I'm just like, you don't have to say that. Like you don't have to say that. Like you don't already have to like if you don't have to say like, oh well, to the listener that hates that we're having them on, I don't agree with everything they say. So like spare me if you're gonna like shit all over them, which is like I'm not asking you to fight battles for me, but like that could have just gone unsaid. And so Emma Watson says, oh well, Joe and I, we you know, we don't see eye to eye on the issue, but like I have so many proud memories of J.K. Rowling and I cannot throw that away. And I've separated the art from the artist and all of that. And it's like, first off, that is like admitting that the person is. I won't say she's admitting that the person's right because I also believe that she believes.
It's the finger test. It's the reading the winds, reading the Tiger Woods, doing a
Overton window,
110-yard shit. Yeah,
exactly. She's doing that, and I like. To me, it was such a soft like. Oh, please don't be mad at me, Joe. And also, the new Harry Potter show is coming out, so she clearly wants like. Some part of like people tried their hardest to like not have that be a thing, but it's going to be a huge thing. Like it's going to be everyone's going to watch it, including the people that have sworn that were they were trying to etch her names off the book. There were like again, I was cracking up about it because there were a bunch of like trannies that were like trying to etch the name J.K. Rowling off these books that had it stitched in like inside, like not the dust jacket, but the fucking like actual book itself. And I'm like, wow, it sounds like a very male skill. But like, I just took a belt sander to it, you know, like just like. Like
As a woman,
yeah. I put on my good dress and I fucking belt sanded off my copy of the Sorcerer's Stone.
That's like a same meme tweet or some
Yeah.
shit. It's literally like something
yeah.
down there.
It's like, I had Battlestar Galactica on in the background too. Like, it was like, anyways, like, and so it was this kind of it was like I hated that like whole like soft entryway back into the good graces of this way. It's like, no, I actually preferred it when you decided to be diametrically opposed to me. Like, I actually preferred that rather than this, well, they're still wrong, but I forgive them. It's like, there's nothing to forgive me about.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything wrong. You are wrong and are currently wrong. And I'm sorry, like the whole, Lisa Simpson hand raiser ass like thing that she does, which to be fair, that's her character as well.
Yeah.
But like, that's just not like that's just not going to play anymore. And she hasn't done shit other than Harry Potter.
No,
dude.
the thing with JK is what I've always noticed about JK is she's obviously very, and I don't say this in the negative sense, she's very ideologically driven, where she knows where she stands and she talks about it. But the thing is, she brings the receipts and she's like, hey, here's a prison where
she's got nothing but time, dude.
She's like, here's a prison where a bunch of women got raped because they let in a male MTF prisoner. Here's like a bathroom story. Here's like this guy they didn't catch and all this shit. And it's like, so to say that she's an evil, that's all they have is that she's an evil person. She's ruining her goodwill that she created with her fan base. And it's like, well, no, good. I mean, like,
first off, they're all addicted. They're all prisoners because that's their whole identity.
Yeah.
Like they can't not like it. To me, it's the same way for sports. People go, why do you still watch sports? There's lib propaganda anyway. I'm like, it literally doesn't matter.
It doesn't
I will watch it no matter what. So I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. I mean, I will. I make fun of it and I go, oh, great. Can't wait to hear what fucking Monica McNutt says about the fucking Bills.
I'm worried about the Garrett Wilson one-handed catch, not what the end zone says where he toe taps.
I love
exactly.
So I mean, like they always act like there's this other realm outside of it, but it's like, yo, nobody's ever like eclipsed that. It's clear that that's not the case. And I love that they always like they freak out on J.K. Rowling. They're like, you have nothing but time, and like you just spend all day. And she's like, yeah, because I've literally I have $1 billion.
Yeah,
I don't need to do anything.
Yeah,
I can sit here all day in my house that has a little bit of black mold. Like I could, which is funny. She should hire the people who etch her name off of the book. Get rid of that black mold. Hire women. Hire women. She's like, I'm hiring. She's hiring. Hire a real woman, TM. To come over with the belt sander with all that stuff, get rid of the black mold, and she should just be like, "That's my name on there. Pretend that's my name on there, and get rid of that." Yeah,
it's crazy. The black mold is funny.
Yeah,
and that's also funny. It's funny how why isn't JK getting arrested for her tweets in the UK? It begs the question. I mean, I know why.
I had to pay off so many visits.
But it's like, damn, you have to be a billionaire to have free speech in the UK.
It is crazy. You think that woman in a dress isn't a real woman, Joe?
Yeah.
I'll show you what really Phillips. Oh,
yeah.
It's a social construct, isn't it?
The UK. I thank God once a week that I don't live there. It's crazy.
It's toast.
Are
we like overreacting to clips? I'm not so sure, but like I don't
know. The cop stealing the British flag from a 15-year-old on the streets.
The Quran, like attacking the guy who didn't like the Quran. It was like all white people doing it to each other. It was so strange.
It wouldn't be if it was just like the immigration. If it was just like the rape gangs and stuff. I mean, that's horrific. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if that was
just that,
if it was just that, and the cops were against it and actually were like, "Hey, let's solve this," it would probably be. But the fact that they're like so complicit, that's like a literal like anarcho tyranny state, is like that's what anarcho tyranny. That's the term I'm searching for. That's what really makes it so horrific and wretched. Is that it's like you're literally there's not even a pretext. They're not even trying to disguise it. You go to prison for 2 years for like saying this guy's a pedo who's actually a pedo, or like a molested kid or something. But then if you're actually that guy, you get let off with like 180 days community service or something, which is like, so again, I'm not like, that's not, people are like really obsessed with the whole like.
I'm glad we're going to cover some good British art next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I need my palate cleansed.
Yeah.
Because like I'm sorry, and I know this is it's not controversial, but I have a feeling some like people who like I'm American to the core. Like I think the one thing that British people do better is rock.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it because like a lot of people, oh well, no, dude, like there's fucking we have no, they do
Name
it
the
better.
best. The best American rock band is what? Credence or
Eagles.
Stooges,
The Eagles. I would say the Eagles. Mm-hmm.
Eagles. I mean, dude, Led Zeppelin's first album is like better than
the Beatles.
anything. The Beatles, yeah. Come on,
Rolling
dude.
Stones.
Yep.
The Who.
Yeah. They crushed it, dude.
They
crushed it,
dude. Even like Bad Company, like fucking like.
Wait, no, isn't Bad Company American?
Paul Rogers is not.
He's not. Oh, okay. I think they.
I mean, they might be a hybrid. They might be like the drummers, fucking like Stuart Copeland.
Yeah.
It could be something like that. But because I still do, dude. I still love the fucking. I tell the story all the time, but I was in downtown Salinas once, and there was this like old black guy in a fedora, homeless, but it was like Ralph Macchio Crossroads homeless black guy, where it was cool, and where you're like that guy knows all the secrets to life, or something. For sure, And he had this like sick ass Bluetooth speaker that was really loud, and he was just singing "Bad Company," the song. Yeah, like "Bad Company," and he was just singing it, and it was like perfect. And I was like, yo, that guy is allowed to do whatever he wants. Yeah. Like I'm down to have American Idol to where like if you can be homeless like in public, like I'm down to like how it's like, well, let's hear you sing Bad Company. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, you can stay. That's fine. No, right here. This is your plot. Like you're good there. Exactly. And then it's like, I'm sorry, you didn't hit the high note like Paul Rogers there.
Yeah.
Like you didn't execute. You're a little pitchy. Little pitchy. Support. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go to the encampment under the but yeah, Bad Company. It was it was sick. I was like, damn. But no, I don't know if to be honest, that could be, I don't know that well. I just know Paul Rogers is British. So but like no, I just mean like they do that better. And now again, do they even have good British rock anymore? Probably not. That's probably gone by the wayside as well. But
one thing I don't like modern British singers, like R&B and stuff, is they actually sound British when they sing. When did that happen? That's a new thing.
Well, you know who always sounded British when he sung? David Bowie, which I always loved.
Yeah, but he's one of one. All right. Yeah.
But it was during a time where everybody sounded American from over there.
True. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't know. I can't get down with the new R&B, Yeah. Yeah, they are.
My guy, I love King. I love King Cruel though, and he literally is the voice that I do. Like
King Cruel,
hit roll,
because he's like half singing too.
Yeah, and he looks like Ryan. He looks like a Weasley. That's why I like him. Dude, he looks like King a fucking. Weasley. He looks like the younger, like Ron Weasley's. Like if there was a younger brother.
He was like the backup beater for the 07 Gryffindor.
I think I got a shot of like he has that like voice where you're like, it's like, dude, do they call you guys like retards over there when you talk? Like is that like
ass motherfucker? Dude.
Like is that their rednecks?
Oh, good question. Yeah, I bet he is. Yeah,
like because like volunteered play this Sunday. Like that type of, is that them?
Yeah,
is that them over there? Because he's probably like I don't even think he doesn't sound poor. Like
no, because all the cool British accents are like the redneck ones, like the ones of like, oh, that's a working class town. It's
you just picture a big smog factory where they don't even make anything and they just make smog.
Yeah,
like you just feel like it's that factory where like there's a big ship on the outside and then the smog. It's I work down at the smog factory. Have a pint with me later, bruv.
I was thinking this about because I was thinking about the Beatles in our Jack episode about the Beatles with where they did the Yellow Submarine movie.
Yes.
And but it literally wasn't their voices. They hired voice actors to imitate Paul, John, George, and Ringo, and they fucking nailed it too, which is funny.
I literally didn't know that until we did that episode.
I read the Wikipedia and found that out before that.
Well, they have that like what is it, the Liverpool one, which I think is the Paul, that there's something, it's very Well, I think, John, I think it's something that we can't really talk about right now,
Yeah.
John. You know, like that where, and then, well, Paul, we can't call the song that, Paul. Like that, where, but like, I don't know what that other. I'm sure we have British. Like, I don't know what the King Cruel one is. Like, what is that? Because that's the one I think is the funniest.
Yeah,
is the and then whatever the Pirates of the Caribbean one is. I don't know what that is.
Heard you want your country back.
Yeah,
so
yeah, because like the Rolling Stones, like they like actively were like, we want to be black guys.
Yeah,
they're like we like actively like they were like, I want to I want to fuck black girls. I want to be a black guy. Like
especially, that, especially the Rolling Stones for sure.
They like because like it was so funny. Like as I'm reading I'm going through the Keith Richards memoirs, which slap hard. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like he'll be like, man, these people they follow me around. We're in like they're in like rural Texas in like 1967.
Yeah.
And they're like dressed like women. He's literally wearing his girlfriend's clothes.
Yeah.
Like and they're like and they're carrying like a pharmacy with them.
Yeah.
Like and they're like, is a
car case full,
these fascist pigs were on our head, mate. They were on our head. We didn't know why. Why you want to pull this over, mate? You know, I'm like, cause you guys like what it's like you're in like No Country for Old Men, like Llewellyn Mosstown. Like it's like, dude, I'm pretty sure like it's like having like when you know those friends that like have like beyond a 5% tint on their window, but they like sell drugs. You're like, why do you have to get the illegal window tint?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna pull you over for that. Like drive a fucking drive like a Camry.
Yeah.
Dude, like a regular Camry with regular wheels, regular tires, you know, like just do that. If you're like like that's what like cartel people do. Like when they have people drive stuff back and forth, they're like, yo, buy like the most basic bitch ass car and like drive that back and forth. But like it just reminded me of but yeah, he would just say that he was like, we just want to be like Bo Diddley and Chuck Berry. We just want to be just like him. And they would go to like
the American artists wouldn't listen to blues like that until the British people put them up on game, which is cool.
They were like upset, and they were just like, dude, all I wanted to do was just like go to like black bar, like sinners bars, you know what I mean, like juke joints or whatever. Like it's all we wanted to do is go there and like rock out. And he's like, and then there would be like a fat black lady that would like hug me with her titties in my face. I'd be like, this is my life. And then like after a while, they got not Brian Epstein, but the other guy from the Beatles manager, like dropped out of the Beatles and like managed them. They're like, yo, you guys like, I know we're gonna do an official Stones episode at some point, but like there was that takes a long time. That is an intimidating log of media there. But they said like that man, I think his name's Andrew something. I don't have his name, but he was like, yo, like, why do you guys all wear different shit? Like every fucking band wears the same stuff. Like the Beatles have all the same haircut. They wear the suits and like they were like, why don't you dress like him? And it's Charlie Watts who wears like the suits, the pinstripe suits. And they're like, well, Charlie dresses like a faggot, mate. Like, like they say that in the book. He's like, we thought Charlie dressed like a fag. And they're like, you're wearing like a girl's cheetah shirt, Keith Richards. Like you're wearing
that was the golden age of being able to wear a literal dress and call someone a faggot.
Yeah, the guy in a suit is gay. Like Charlie's off his rocker, mate. You know, because Charlie Watts, they couldn't afford Charlie Watts.
Yeah,
that was their biggest thing at the time because Charlie Watts just played jazz bars for like a steady wage.
Yeah,
where like they would give the Stones like 10 pounds to divide amongst themselves because they're like, dude, it's a blues joint. Like we're not like, you know, and they would have to divide. And Charlie Watts was like, yo, we get like 20 pounds a night, like to play my little jazz in my suit. You know, it's a very interesting story. So we'll cover that at some point. So you got a red pill coming out soon, so that's pretty cool. Or not? I'm sorry, not a red pill.
Well, yeah, but eventually, but yeah, maybe just
ironically the reddest pill that you're gonna cover, is not a red pill.
True. Yeah. Wow. Maybe I should make it that. I will. I will just because you said that.
You should. I like the category, the categorizing of it. Yeah.
Tylenol's literally a red pill, right? Tylenol.
I think so. Or am I misremembering? Isn't it like half red?
Yeah, it's red and white, right?
Red and white.
Which is I haven't taken it since I was a child, and when I was
quite a while,
autistic. Yeah. Let's see.
When I was autistic.
Yeah. Wow, this one has it's a white pill with red letters.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
red somewhere. But what I mean is
By the way,
that-
in hospital, like, dude, if you go to a hospital or ER,
Mhm.
they love Tylenol, dude. They
Yeah,
are
they
like,
do.
that's the first. They're like, you take Tylenol yet? They're like, we got it. You want it?
Damn.
And they're like, you're like, oh, okay, I'm good, I think,
Yeah.
but maybe I should. I don't know. They're pushing the Tylenol hard.
But yeah, we have that. I've got later this week William Faulkner's As I Lay Dying. I can't stop calling it As I Gay Guying. Cannot stop calling it that. In fact, that was when we recorded the episode with Adam and Banjo Jack. I had it called that on StreamYard, and I think somebody else has said that before, so I'm not like trying to say that's like a joke I made up, but I was just like, As I Gay Guying just sounds really good. But that's
well, Kelby and JDO aren't on that episode, so
can't call it that. Yeah, we need gay people. We need actual gay people on that episode.
Miss those bros. We need a horse.
I know
soon.
it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Dude, isn't it funny that guy's like based?
Yeah,
he goes on the stained guy. Like he goes on like. He goes on like Tucker and stuff, and I was like, and everybody's like, of course, all like the old rock fans are like, grifter. It's like, what is it's Stained? Like, I guarantee you, the most people that go see Stained live are like electricians who are like, who like listen to Chevelle and Stained. Like, I doubt that it's like, dude, you just spit on your loyal fan base by going on. It's like, no, I didn't. It's Stained. I stained you. But Aaron Lewis is his name. But or something like that. Aaron something. Aaron Jewish. Aaron Jewish. That's his name. Daniel Day Jewish. So yes, we've got that coming up. We've got next week we're going to be covering Quadrophenia and Tommy, the movies and the albums, with our buddy Jack. So that's going to be really fun. I can't wait. I was just really in the mood for the Who again because like I grew up with a Zeppelin dad Who mom, which most of the time is the case. Like it's many such cases.
I had a Who dad. Anti-Zeppelin dad. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know it's true, and they're not like beta. Like it's not like a feminine sound to them. You know, like they're not at all. I just remember like I like them both. I identified more with Zeppelin, but I was kind of like, man, I really have been enjoying revisiting. It's not a formal Who episode. Like we're just covering those two things: the Ken Russell film and the Quadrophenia movie is so damn good. I think a Sting on a motorcycle. And
love that. No,
I think that was.
I'm a little worried because I grew up. I mean, I would Tommy live at the Isle of Wight concert CD I had when I was a kid, would play it on fucking repeat nonstop. And then I got into like Zeppelin and other stuff and like funk and everything, and then tried to go back to the Who, and it did not slap as much. And I'm hoping that
the album is crazy.
Quadrophenia is great.
The Quadrophenia album is better than Tommy, the album, in my opinion.
For sure. Oh yeah, no doubt.
And you get so used to like Pinball Wizard, like you just get used
Tommy's
to
like Boomer Reddit.
It is,
like,
but it's good. But in the scope of the movie is sick because the movie was a old school drug movie for me. Like watch Tommy on drugs, man. Elton John's got big legs, dude. Yeah. Like and Jack Nicholson's in it. It's fucking wild. Crazy. Yeah. It's like you I remember like thinking, I'm like, I didn't notice that at all when I was young because I was fucking bombed out of my mind watching it in like high school with like Paramount Imports ass like friends and stuff. And like I remember thinking that, and then Quadrophenia is more of like the normie movie, but it's really good. It's like, man, it's got like Ray Winstone, all these like really good actors in it, and Sting's great in it. And that was also, I think, why we wanted to cover it, because I was on that like Sting kind of like kick, and then I was like, oh, that's right, he's in Quadrophenia. And my mom was just like obsessed with the Who. She saw them. This had to have been the 80s. The first tour they did without Keith Moon, which that sucks, right? You know what I mean? Like, but also like, to me, I'm kind of an Entwistle guy. I think Entwistle's kind of the goat of the band, personally. But like, I know that's sacrilege to the Keith Moon drum people, but I've always thought Entwistle was like, he's dead now, so it's like now I would have no interest in that. And I know they're on like their farewell tour right now. But I agree with you. I kind of, for a while, I think I just grew out of the Who, like when I was a teenage, like getting more into like other stuff, and I was like, I don't know, this is whatever. But I'll tell you, threw it on again, both albums, and I was like, whoa. Coupled with the movie too, it really helps coupling the movie with it, where you're like, Because the Ken Russell movie, I mean, Ken Russell directed Altered States. Like, fucking that guy
Damn.
is like a real director, you know, and like, and the Quadrophenia movie's so good. So yeah, that'll be really fun to talk about that next week. And then we are also, like I said, the paid episodes, guys. The Godfather episode was excellent with Ryan and Vincent, and that's all the tiers. If you really liked that and you were like, oh man, I'd love to have that episode about this. Open invite for you to come on with us if you sponsor the episode. No pressure if you don't want to. I will say, if you're having second thoughts, like, am I good on a podcast? It's better to just let us cook. Like, if you want it, like, if you're like, no, I want to go on it, absolutely you can. Coming up, we have The Core, which is a movie I haven't seen. My wife used to watch it when she was younger. But it's got like just a very 2003 like cast and stuff. And we've been told that it's by our friend 13 Seconds.
Yeah, is that who I think it is? Yeah,
Seconds Truther. I told him you have to come on.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no like.
I apologize. I had a scheduling some weird stuff with the Godfather. I watched all the movies, which is
and you loved them. Yeah,
I did. And which is like, it's always funny when you invest like 10 hours into something, and then
it doesn't feel like 10 hours.
It
doesn't.
Like,
it's not like
it wasn't a slog. It was
not a slog, especially 2. 2 is 3 hours and 22 minutes, and you're like, I want more. Give me more. I want more. Fredo, 2
went hard as fuck.
Fredo, I knew it was you.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, dude. Like, it's like the best. It's just and then you got to just kill your brother of Mice and Men style in Lake Tahoe. Like, come on, just floating it. He's still at the bottom of Tahoe, man. We've been in that lake, you know, like, but anyways, rcnow.org. You guys go on there. You guys can see the tiers on there. Just hit us up at RC Industries. If you feel like something doesn't quite fit on those tiers, make me an offer. I can't refuse. You know, there's I like it because the stuff we have coming up, Jack's coming back on for Metallica at the beginning of November. Somebody wanted a Metallica episode, and they said, you got to get Jack too. I said, okay, that sounds good. Probably because of the Black Sabbath episode and the Beatles and stuff that we had done. And we're all really excited about that. But there's like always, like I probably wouldn't have covered, or at least even thought to cover, The Godfather, Metallica. And I didn't know about The Core, but it sounds great. I'm taught it. There's like a kind of a State of Fear kind of inroad, or kind of a tie-in to like State of Fear style, like climate change stuff. So I'm really interested. We can definitely make it that kind of thing. But these are things that, like, obviously I like. I grew up loving Metallica. My dad took me to see them, and I just, but to me, I was gonna be like, were we gonna cover them? I don't think so. So now that gets pushed up to the top of the list, and now I'm super excited to cover it.
Exactly.
Because I have always been I've always hated like the metalheads that were like Metallica. Dude, I don't like your fucking band, whatever the fuck you like. You know, so I'm excited about that. Partially a Bay Area band, partially. I think Hetfield, is it Hetfield that's from there? Or somebody's from San Francisco, from up there. I can't remember. But yeah, so guys, go rcnow.org. And again, you can get the archives of all the, you know, Bob's Red Pill, Gain of Fiction, all of that stuff. So we're also doing Halloween episodes coming up. Scott, my friend, our good friend Scott, last night, him and I just recorded an episode on Hellraiser 1 and 2. We're saving that for the kind of a Halloween special mixed with the Gain of Fiction. That's another Halloween thing. So that'll be very, very fun. We have a lot of really fun stuff coming. And on that note, guys, everybody have a safe week. Catch you guys next time.